From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, October 5th, 2017. Silver's trading at $16.69 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,277 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 3.6 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,299. Antiwar.com reports in response to Sunday's Catalonia vote, the International Limited Observers Mission issued a statement on Wednesday praising the Catalan observers for being able to carry out such a referendum in the face of a violent crackdown by Spain. The International Limited Observers Mission strongly condemned Spain for its violence against voters, which injured over 800 people, saying it had no place in an established democracy. They added that it raises concerns about fundamental freedom of expression within Spain. But all told, the observers appeared quite impressed with the referendum itself, despite adverse conditions, saying that the questions about transparency and access to the polls only came about because of Spain's crackdown and threats, and that everyone performed to the best of their abilities. Amnesty International also issued a statement criticizing Spanish police for excessive and unnecessary use of force and the use of disproportionate force against the voting public. Amnesty officials added that Spain needs to investigate the incidents and hold accountable those responsible, ensuring that this never happens again. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports a bipartisan group of U.S. lawmakers unveiled legislation on Wednesday that would overhaul aspects of the National Security Agency's warrantless internet surveillance program in an effort to install additional privacy protections. The bill, which will be formally introduced as soon as Thursday, is likely to revive debate in Washington over the balance between security and privacy, amid concerns among some lawmakers in both parties that the U.S. government may be too eager to spy on its own citizens. The legislation, written by the House of Representatives Judiciary Committee, is seen by civil liberties groups as the best chance in Congress to reform the law, known as Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, before its expiration on December 31st. Senior U.S. officials consider Section 702 to be among the most vital tools they have to thwart threats to national security and American allies. It allows U.S. intelligence agencies to eavesdrop on and store vast amounts of digital communications from foreign suspects living outside the United States. But the program, which was exposed in 2013 by former NSA contractor Edward Snowden, also scoops up communications of Americans. Those communications can then be subject to searches without a warrant by the FBI. A discussion draft of the legislation, a copy of which was seen by Reuters, partially restricts the FBI's ability to access American data collected under Section 702 by requiring the agency to obtain a warrant when seeking evidence of a crime. That limit, however, would not apply to requests of data that involve counterterrorism or counter-espionage. The narrower restrictions on what some have called a backdoor search loophole has disappointed some civil liberties groups. Several organizations sent a letter this week saying they would not support legislation that did not require a warrant for all queries of American data collected under Section 702. The legislation would also renew the program for 6 years and codify the NSA's decision earlier this year to halt the collection of communications that merely mention a foreign intelligence target, but that codification would end in 6 years as well, meaning the NSA could potentially resume the activity in 2023. Republican senators introduced a bill earlier this year to renew Section 702 without change and make it permanent, a position backed by the White House and many intelligence agencies. But that effort is expected to face major resistance in the House, where an influential conservative bloc of Republicans earlier this year said they opposed renewal unless major changes were made, reflecting disagreement with the majority party. Separately, Senators John Cornyn, the number 2 Republican in the chamber, and Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein are working on Section 702 legislation that may also be introduced this week and include fewer reforms. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.